Hello and welcome to this week's video email, Patterns, Power and Gentle Change. I've been thinking a lot about boats this week, not the kinds that skim across summer seas, but the little ones we each steer through the currents of daily life. It's tempting to look across at other vessels, at the triumphs of women in football and rugby, the heartbreak of children caught in conflict, or the spotlight on the poor state of music education after the latest exam results. But a wise mentor once reminded me, keep your eyes in your own boat. So today, rather than trying to cover every headline, I want to share where my own journey has taken me. 3 weeks into my self-imposed video challenge. So we're now 3 weeks into the Diversitybuds Dialogue Series, and this week has brought us to some of the deeper waters of this work, where bias meets systems and where individual insight meets collective patterns. This week's theme was noticing the system, an invitation to look at how habits, routines, structures and stories shape our everyday environments, especially for young children. When we pause and notice, we begin to see how these systems aren't neutral. They reflect certain defaults, values and histories. Here's a recap of what we explored together. Day 17. A gentle introduction to systems thinking, how big patterns show up in small moments, and how this affects the children we care for and teach. Day 18, how everyday routines can carry hidden expectations, and how those often reflect systemic bias rather than individual intention. Day 19, why many systems expect children to fit the mould, and how this often marginalises children who don't match these norms. Day 20, how certain subjects like music are undervalued because they don't serve productivity-driven metrics, despite being central to connection, identity and well-being. Day 21, who gets heard, and how do our classroom norms either amplify or silence different voices, particularly when it comes to race, accent, confidence or cultural difference. Day 22, how dominant cultural values shape systems and what happens when we don't question them. Day 23, a recap of the week and a gentle nudge towards the final stretch of the series, where we'll explore access, agency and gentle activism. All of this week's videos are available here if you'd like to revisit or catch up on any of them. The reflection checklist for week 3 is also now live. You can find the link in the description below this video. Once again, I want to say a heartfelt thank you to everyone who's taken the time to like, support, comment, message or share their reflections. Your engagement brings warmth, community and energy to this work, and I am incredibly grateful. Personally, I'm continuing to grow in confidence through this daily video challenge. It's not easy to show up every day with something new to say, especially on topics as layered as these, but I'm learning so much in the process. Thank you for your company. Coming up next, our final week begins tomorrow. We'll be exploring access, agency and gentle activism with a focus on how small, consistent actions can open doors and shift narratives for the children in our care. I wonder what systems we are all going to become more aware of in this next week. With very best wishes and thanks again for watching.